All right. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Stop that music. Oh, wait, not that music. Hang on. Good morning. Happy Election Day in the United States of America. For those of you who participate in American politics, and for you, those of you who just observe. I hope that you're ready to see the salt mines flowing and the fireworks and all the other shit that happens on election days, because, you know, it's as unpredictable as the next scene in Forrest Gump. I'm just telling you. It's that day when we all decide who's going to lead the rest of the nation, because we have a president, sort of. Well, if you think it's Ron Klain, that might be right. But anyway, so today it's all about the election. Although I do have one. Well, I will show you what's trending, but I'm going to quickly move on to election, because I'm going to give you a wide array of last minute things that are happening in Electionville before you go to the polls, unless you've already gone. I'm going to go after I leave here today. So, are you ready? Shall we do it? Let's. Johnny, play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
That's me! Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where today it's all about politics, because, well, I talk about that a lot. Let me just get rid of that Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today. There's going to be a new one today. Anyway, we're going to, I'm just going to watch or read and look at some of the things. We got some videos, we got some articles, just some last minute stuff that I pulled all off of Real Clear Politics today. But the real thing that I think everyone needs to pay attention to today are 11 Senate races. There are 11 Senate races that people are talking about. Some are not close. I don't think there's let's see, are there just 11 this time? I think. I don't know. I was looking at this morning on Real Clear Politics. Then there's 7 Senate races that are fairly close, I guess I would say. And so that is the big focus. I think you're going to see a fairly decent wave in the House. I think some Democrats are kind of, what's a good word? They're resolved to the fact that they could lose the House. Although there's some delusional ones. There's certainly some delusional people out there who think that this particular election is going to be a blue wave. There's some reasons why maybe that's not going to be true. Now, there's always some X factors, okay? I think that there was a surge of young voters in the last presidential election, and I think part of that was due to that Chinese app called TikTok. Because most of us, people my age, except for my wife loves TikTok. I don't even have it on my phone. I don't have it on anything in my house except for my wife's phone, because she likes TikTok. But I know that drove a ton of young voters out last time. And with some of the issues that Joe Biden has focused on, student loans, abortion, things like that, and that the Democrats love the trans shit, right? I mean, they love the trans activism. There's a possibility there could be a little uptick in, voters that are of the younger variety, right? However, there's also an issue. Ever since Joe Biden has been demonizing the ultra MAGA Republicans. When you look at some of these polls, there's a lot, I've been watching the polls a lot and just kind of getting a feel, of some of these races. And a lot of Senate races are close, right? But with Joe Biden constantly demonizing the MAGA Republicans, the media constantly, maligning anyone who's on the right as election deniers, or they try to throw that January 6th stuff at them. I think there's a reluctance, particularly among Republicans and people on the right and the MAGA people, whatever. I think there's a reluctance for them to even participate in polls. I think they shy away from polls more so than those who are on the left. Why? Because I don't think people on the right trust the polls as much anyway, and are not as enthusiastic about answering them. So I think there's going to be a little bit of lag there. And I have an article about that here today. We're going to talk about that. So anyway, so anyway, today is going to be all about the election. I've got several articles from a wide variety of sources. I got Real Clear Politics. I got MSNBC. I got Fox News, Newsweek, Vox, and a couple others that are just, some random stuff. And then we'll look at a few videos, and then we'll get the hell on done so I can go vote, so you can go vote if you haven't done so already. And there you go. So before we do that, let's see. I already played the intro, so let's say hi. I'm going to say hi to the people. Power to the people with the good mornings. Now, first in the chat on the Rumble side. By the way, reminder, please, if you're watching on Rumble, follow me on YouTube too. If you're watching me on YouTube, follow me on Rumble too. Especially with Rumble, I need to get, I don't think I have 100 subscribers on Rumble yet, and I need 100 subscribers on Rumble. So I'm asking you to do that. Will you please subscribe to Rumble? But also, it's very important that you follow me, at least have a place where you follow me all on Rumble, YouTube, Odyssey, and whatever others that you happen to come across. I'm at PDogNight on most places, but those three in particular, because in the future I'll be streaming on all three. I'm on two of them right now. And also, if you would follow me on Locals. Now, again, I haven't set up Locals for I'm using Locals as a substitute to Patreon. I'm not going to use Patreon. I have a Patreon account, but I've never promoted it. I really want to use Locals so that if you want to do a regular monthly, support of the channel or whatever, just a small time basis, you can do that. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to start putting some exclusive content on there. I'll be doing an occasional exclusive stream on there. You can join it for free. You don't have to join. You don't have to pay to join my Locals channel or my Locals site. But if you want to comment or send messages on it, you would have to be a paid member also. But and then also you will get. But also that's also where I'm going to start using as a notification device. I'm going to use that when I'm about to set up streams. That way, if I do a notification through Locals, you'll get it immediately. Kind of like Rumble too. Rumble's really good about notifications as opposed to YouTube, which takes forever, and I don't know why. But anyway, Avocados Diablo on the Rumble gets the bell. Thank you for being here, sir. And also, good morning to Simon Wolfwood and Mike Savage, Blarg on Rumble. On the YouTube side, first in the chat with Somno Boldmation, who gets the bell. And also, good morning again to Avocados Diablos on both sides. Goes both ways. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Tyler Alexander Tremere, let's show Mike Savage, Blarg. Also, good morning to Trippy Liberty, Rotten Corpse. Donatello Slapperfellas back. Nice to see you, sir. Also, good morning, Tyler F. Aaron Meredith, Lord Stanhope, DMW 247 TV. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Ballot New York. Let the tsunami begin. Hell yeah. Also, good morning to James Colley. Woohoo. Boomer Vision. Why I let you in here, I don't know. Anyway, good morning to you, Freighter Watcher. Also, Unacceptable views. My favorite Canadians in the house, Jaeger Pony. Also, I got that. Neon Leon, what up? Bubba's in the house. Welcome back. And why are you so angry? No, not you, Bubba. That's the name of someone in the chat. Why are you so angry? And good morning to also, is that everybody? That looks like it's about everybody. Oh, and Nathan James, 151. Welcome. Are you new here? I don't recall seeing that name before, but I'm glad you're here. Anchors Away. Anchors Away. I don't know the song. I know those three. I know those two words. That's as far as I get to in the Navy song. And something like that. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. And I strongly suggest all of you share the stream, hit a like button on YouTube, hit the plus sign on Rumble, or if you're watching on a phone on Rumble, it's a little fist that thing. It's a thumbs up, really, but you know what I mean. Oh, it's me, Brutus. Oh, I got you. Well, welcome. I didn't know you changed your name, Brutus. You got me confused. I'm so confused. Anyway, if you haven't hit the like button yet, do that so far. And then you can sponsor the show, pdognight.live. You can write longer. It's like a super chat, but you can write more without having to spend more. You can write up to the max characters that super chats would give you. If you gave $100, you can do it for $2 at pdognight.live. So that's a good way to do it too. And on Rumble, it's the Rumble Ranch. You hit that little, it's only on desktop though. If you're watching Rumble on a computer, that little desktop thing next to the message there's a little money bag there. That's where you can do Rumble rants. So that's how you can sponsor the show. Let's begin. By the way, quick thanks yous to Sun Rumble Nation, Tyler F, Simon Wolfwood, and looks like that's those are the people who've already shared the show. I appreciate that. Share it on Twitter, Getter, whatever, Truth Social. Especially if any of you are on, I don't know if anyone here is on Truth Social. I'd really appreciate if you share my stuff over there. I haven't gotten, that's one of the few that I'm not on. I should probably figure that out. And then Facebook too. I don't post anything on Facebook, and maybe you don't. If you use Facebook like me, maybe not. Maybe don't do that, because I don't post things on Facebook because I don't really want to inundate my family and friends with political shit. I hate my family and friends who do that on Facebook drive me nuts, and I don't want. That's not where I go to see baby pictures and family stuff and vacation pics and people's gardens, and that's what I use Facebook for, just that kind of stuff. So I've never mentioned my YouTube channel on Facebook except maybe once. Well, I have mentioned my Big Journey channel over there, but that one's because that channel is that kind of stuff. It's family, friends, pictures, and vacations, and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's what I do. Anyway, and there's Nomads in the house. Hammer time. Formerly known as MC. Nice to have you back. All right, let's get into the topics of the day. Now, real quick, I'm going to show you what's trending today, and we're going to go through this quick because this is not. Oh, what the hell did I do there? This is not the topic that we're doing today. We're not doing trends today, or at least not in any great detail. But I think it's always good to know what's happening in the world. So, and I kind of tell you why in some of these and some I can't. So as you look through trending topics on Twitter today, clearly Election Day is number one, and that's what we're talking about today. Go vote, yes. Those number two, vote blue today. Well, whatever. But that's in my notification today. I voted, so it's a lot of people talking about voting. Number 4, what is this? Dawn Plan. I have no idea. That's some Pokemon shit. Don't care. Powerball is trending because the $1.9 billion Powerball jackpot. I don't know. Did they ever draw for that? They had to draw late. And it was supposed to be tonight, but now it's delayed due to technical issues. Election Day is tomorrow. Solar eclipse tomorrow. Last one for 3 years. The full moon. What the luck? What the F is happening? Be right back while I hide under a rock. So, yeah, they had technical difficulties with a machine that rolls 5 white balls down a plastic tube. I don't know. Let's see. The wolf wants to share the wealth when you're okay, I don't know what that is. Doesn't look like breaking. Elon Musk just purchased Powerball and stopped the drawing. Tickets are now $8 each. That's hilarious. Anyway, I don't know if they ever drew. Oh, there was no jackpot winner in Powerball Monday. So the top prize for Wednesday has rolled to $2.3 billion with a B dollars. Jay Pollard's in the house. And Shady Grin is here too. Nice to have you all here. So damn. Now that 2.3 billion probably be about 2.5 billion because everyone and their brother's going to buy a ticket for that shit. All right, that's all I wanted to know about that. That's okay. So that's why Powerball is trending. Vote red in 22. That's also so vote blue, vote red. Ed Sheeran, don't care. Chris Evans, sexiest man alive. Today is the day. Today is the day. You got to get out and vote. 866 our vote. Ditch Twitter. Oh, that's trending because of Occupy Democrats. Now, this is interesting. Occupy Democrat. Did you know Occupy Democrats owns, what's that other one called? There's another one that they're plugging. Now, let's see. Occupy Democrats says, breaking. Elon Musk now wants to put all of Twitter behind a paywall and charging all users a subscription fee to use Twitter. If Musk starts charging you to use Twitter, will you 1, pay on Elon Musk, 2, ditch Twitter and join Twitter alternative Tribal Social? Did you know that Tribal Social is run by the same person who does Occupy Democrats? It's hilarious. I don't care. And I doubt they're not going to charge for Twitter. They will charge for Twitter Blue, whatever. I don't think it's going to be all behind. It's a subscription. But still, Twitter is still the king. Okay, all these people who are leaving Twitter, like apparently like 1 million people have left Twitter, including Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, I didn't even notice she was gone until she announced it. I don't give a shit. Look, I learned when I went and signed up for Getter, Cloud Hub, and Parler. Not so much Minds and not so much Gab, because I don't pay attention to what goes on at Gab. I just post there to put my notifications. But Cloud Hub, Parler, and Getter are those Twitter alternatives that people left when they got booted off of Twitter, right? And while I occasionally look at stuff over there, they're really boring. You know why? Because everyone thinks the same way. And one of the fun things about Twitter is shit posting against people you don't agree with. It just is. And that's, I mean, granted, it's ruining America, but it's also fun. It's fun. It's all kinds of fun. So I just don't think it's gonna, all these people are gonna go over to Tribal or whatever, and a lot of them are using Mastodon, and they're figuring out Mastodon is just a shit show. And plus, Mastodon, they complained about, people can say whatever they're going to be able to say whatever they want on Twitter, and I don't want to agree, and it's going to be an unsafe place. Mastodon is like a total like blockchain connected weird thing where anybody really can say anything. I mean, it's like if people want to talk about taking a dump in your Cheerios, that they'll do it, because that's what Mastodon is completely like, I don't know, what do you call it? It's uncontrollable. And so I know that people are figuring that out. That to block people of the Mastodon is a pain in the ass. They're figuring that out. Like Paul Krugman went over there, and he's already, like 2 days ago, he said, well, I'm just going to go to Mastodon, right? And he signs up for Mastodon. He's already bitching about it because it sucks. Because he can't handle when people don't agree with him, and then people are just, I don't know. Anyway, enough of that. Blake Shelton and he's trending. I don't know. Anything else? Vote Republican. A lot of election stuff. Okay, and get out and vote. A lot of election stuff. Katy Perry and John Legend too. Anyway, so those things are trending on Twitter. I'm sure you're excited about that, but like I said, that's not why we're here. Today we're going to talk about politics. Now, I'm going to go to the front page of Real Clear Politics here. Wild Saffron. Nice to see you. Good morning, my lovely rumble dogs. Guess who I am? Oh shoot. Is that Tyler, this Wild Saffron? I can't remember who Wild Saffron is. I can already hear the ring. Yes, I can hear it too. It's coming, man. So I went to the Real Clear Politics, which has aggregate polls and all this stuff. And over on the right-hand side here, as you can see, if you can see my cursor. Can you see my cursor? Yeah, you can kind of see it. This is the Real Clear Politics Election 22. And it talks about top Senate races because these are the ones that are really the ones that people are watching. There's Pennsylvania, New Hampshire, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, Washington, which really, the fact that we're looking at Washington again, too, is amazing because the governor and Senate race there are so close in a state that's almost always straight out blue. Wisconsin, Colorado, North Carolina, Ohio, and Florida are all the ones that are really, really people think are the hot races to look at. Right now, Oz is up just on the latest RCP average. Real Clear Politics does the polling averages of all the polls. They weight them by how close they are, when they were done, and then they have this formula for weighting them out, right? Well, right now, Oz is leading by just barely a half a percentage point in Pennsylvania. New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan is only up 1.4%. Now, in a year where Republicans are surging and they're less likely to answer polls, that's not good for New Hampshire. Arizona, Masters is up just barely by a hair from your nether regions. In Nevada, Laxalt, the Republicans up 3.4%. Georgia, Walker is up over Warnock right now. I'm like, I want to go like X'd it out, but that's the RCP average. Minnesota, I don't want the governor's races. Minnesota, or no, not Minnesota, excuse me. In Washington, Murray is only up 3 again in this time when Republicans are surging. In Wisconsin, Ron Johnson's up by just about over 3%. In Colorado, that one's spread out. That one, it's 5.7%. North Carolina, Bud's up 6.2%. And in Ohio, Vance is up by 8. And in Florida, Rubio's up by 8, almost 9. Now, that doesn't mean that any of those races will end up the way they are predicted here by the RCP average. You just never know. There could be, as many Democrats have pointed out, there could be problems in this election because, see, all of the elections prior to this midterm elections have been perfectly pristine and nothing that question about them. They're absolutely 100% the most secure elections ever in the history of the United States of America. But now all of a sudden, a lot of these people are talking about how this election might have some problems because, well, this and that and the other, voting machines, blah, 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 blah. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how badly the Democrats lose to see how much the election can be questioned, because that whole horse is, it's already left the barn. They've already started questioning this election because they know they're losing. Anyway, Maricopa County voters, tabulator malfunction reported in at least 6 places. Do not put your ballot in the box 3 to be tabulated downtown. Interesting. Wait, have they started yet? Oh, I suppose it's, 7:44 a.m. there? Well, I suppose, I don't know. This is crazy. So let's go into some of these articles, though, because one I wanted to hit. Oh, wait, here, Senate. Real quick, where's the Senate? Top Senate races. I wanted to see just this. Here we go. So we're going to go over here. So in the battle for the Senate, I'm going to open these just so you can see all these. And we'll go kind of down some of the closest Senate races here. Oprah Winfrey backs Fetterman. Yay. So some of the headlines that they've had on Real Clear Politics: Georgia Senate candidates campaign to overtime, or campaign to avoid overtime. After record early voting, Warnock and Walker say more is needed. More than 2.5 million Georgians cast in-person and absentee ballots during the early voting period that ended Friday. But Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican Channel Herschel Walker continued their bus tour blitzes to get out every last vote. There's no questioning that we're seeing record turnout. Wait a minute. In Georgia? How could there be record turnout in Georgia? What? That can't be. I thought they were suppressing voters in Georgia. Oh, wait, maybe it's all just the white people voting in Georgia. I don't know. What? Black turnout has been high. How'd that happen? Record turnout in Georgia where they're suppressing the vote. Oh, amazing. Anyway, if you know that, and you know the thing about high voter turnout in our country, it's still not high as it ought to be, in my opinion, Warnock told reporters here in Columbia County on Saturday. I want to see eligible voters cast their vote, so we'll keep making the case. The race could well be heading toward a runoff, since Georgia law requires a candidate to secure a majority of the votes cast in order to win on Election Day. The runoff would take place on December 6th, about a month earlier than the runoffs for both the Georgia Senate seats last cycle, which didn't happen until the calendar year turned to 2021. And just as in 2021, it's once again possible that as goes Georgia, goes control of the Senate. I don't think so. Because I think the Republicans are going to pick up at least 3 seats. That's my opinion. I have a gut feeling. They're going to pick up at least 3. Because right now, like I said, even with early voting, all the momentum is on the Republican side. All the enthusiasm is on the Republican side. Democrats are playing defense. And I think the MAGA search will probably kick them in the nuts. I'm just saying. Plus, the governor's races, except for Pennsylvania. Hello, Foxmeyer. How you doing? The governor's race, except maybe in Pennsylvania, are going to affect these races too, because the governors in some of these states have pretty big leads that could translate into Senate candidates too. So, for example, in Arizona with McMaster's, whatever his name is, that seat's probably going to change. Kemp could pull Walker over the line because the Kemp has a pretty big lead in the governor's race. That could happen. Those are 2. What's the third one I was thinking of? There was a third one, I think, but I can't remember. Anyway, Fox B2's in the house too. Nice to see you. So anyway, now let's see. Walker has been joined on the trail by an array of surrogates helping to energize Republican base voters. His guests Friday were Florida Attorney General Pam Bondi, who served on the legal team for President Trump's second impeachment trial, and former Hawaii Representative Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard's out there just stumping for Republicans left and right. I don't get it. I mean, I get it in a way because she's tired of the Democrats' bullshit. I get that. But I'm not so... Look, Tulsi Gabbard, not so recently, was a gun-grabbing Bernie Sanders clone. And now all of a sudden maybe she's seen the light. I still don't know about this. I don't understand about Tulsi Gabbard. But she's stumping with Herschel Walker too. She wants Democrats to lose. I wonder if she's going to run for president again. How? As an independent? What's she going to do? I don't know. Anyway, Nikki Haley also looks like has Trump joined Walker, and Lindsey Graham has expected money. Now, Lindsey Graham, I don't know if I would want Lindsey Graham to do what, I don't know if I'd want Lindsey Graham go out and stump with me. I don't know. I think he should stay away. I think thinks he's more of a celebrity than he is. But anyway, so he's got a lot of people coming out and talk. So that race is interesting. I'm going to move on here. In Ohio, Vance projects confidence as Ryan predicts an upset as Ohio's turbulent Senate race nears the Senate. This one is absolutely going to J.D. Vance. Tim Ryan was an embarrassment in their debate, and the idea that this is actually tight, I don't think so. I'm just saying. Yeah, right. Summon Up Old Nation. I'm with you on Lindsey Graham there. The race has been unexpectedly tight, and Republican J.D. Vance and Democrat Tim Ryan both talked in interviews as if victory was in reach. Republican J.D. Vance believes we're in a very good place. Democrat Representative Ryan believes things are moving our way. One of them will be wrong on Tuesday when their hard-fought Senate race in Ohio comes to an end. Both together, they have found themselves in a contest that grew more competitive than many had expected, given former President Trump's comfortable wins in the state. And in interviews after campaign events here Saturday, Vance and Ryan both spoke as if victory was in reach. They also wrestled with the questions about how they would fit in a seat that in recent history has been held by pragmatic centrists, including Rob Portman, the retiring Republican. They are running to succeed. I think we're in a very good place. Vance, a venture capitalist best known for his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, said after a small rally with Josh Hawley, a Republican of Missouri, at a hotel in North Columbus. See, now, again, and bringing Josh Hawley is absolutely the right firebrand, and I like Josh Hawley. He asks the best questions in Senate hearings, by the way. I really just like that. But it's interesting that he's bringing Josh Hawley in, who, they could say, well, he's an election denier. Oh, he's an insurrectionist. Oh, wait a minute. Insurrectionist. But it's interesting. J.D. Vance is, going with the MAGA crowd, and MAGA was pretty popular in Ohio in the last election. So that's good for him. Ryan, again, his abysmal debate with Vance, where he looked like Nixon in the debate, where Tim Ryan's probably not a bad guy for his party, but he looked all washed out. He couldn't answer questions. He looked all nervous. And Vance, I think, Vance crushed him in those debates. So anyway, that's what's happening in Ohio. And then here's another one. A mirage. J.D. Vance says Tim Ryan never had a chance. That's another. This is in Washington Free Beacon. Republican J.D. Vance says he never had a chance to doubt that Ohio voters would eventually wake up to what is at stake in the upcoming Senate election after months of what appeared to be a neck-and-neck race with Democratic Senate nominee Tim Ryan. Polls show Vance finally breaking through with voters, but Vance told the Washington Free Beacon in an interview, not because his message changed. The energy is higher as you can get close to the election day, but I've always thought the idea this race was close was a bit of a mirage, Vance said on Saturday. A lot of our base just wasn't really paying attention to politics. They were on vacation or hanging out with their kids. Well, okay, I think that's true of everybody's base. They're all doing the same shit during the same time. It's summer, right? And also, everyone starts getting more in tune to the election as the election gets closer. Well, the election's today. So this is the most important day of where you can get it. But anyway, this is just basically an article about Vance being very confident. That's great. Moving on to the race in Arizona, where they say Latino voters are crucial to the Senate and governor races in Arizona because, well, more Latinos are voting Republican. Interesting. So here we are, Guadalupe, Arizona. Over the past decade, Latinos in Arizona responded to a tough crackdown on immigrants by building a turnout machine that has helped propel Democrats to power. Are you sure about that? Because a lot of Latinos now are wanting a crackdown on immigration. But that's just something new that they're not so used to. Not the Latinos, but the people who may write these articles. The strength of that movement will be tested in Tuesday's election when Democrats are counting on strong support from Latinos to help them overcome concerns about the economy. Really? Are the Latinos gonna? What if the Latinos are concerned about the economy? I got that. Whoa, that deserves one of these. Where is it? Where's the? I don't use this one that often. I'm sorry. You don't think Latinos are concerned about the economy? Holy shit. You guys don't get it. Comes as Democrats worry that their standing among Latinos is slipping. Yeah. The party suffered surprising losses in 2020 in places such as South Florida, where immigrants from Cuba and Venezuela tend to be more conservative, and in South Texas. In Arizona, where Latinos tend to be younger and more recent immigrants, they may prove decisive in the battle for control of the Senate and a crucial race for the governor. The question is, will young Latino voters come out and vote? Because that actually is what probably will determine whether we're going to go over the top or not, said Ruben Gallo, a Democratic congressman who represents large Latino neighborhoods in south and west of Phoenix. Democratic Senator Mark Kelly is counting on those Latino voters to help him repeat his victory in a special election 2 years ago. So is Katie Hobbs, the nominee for governor, who's going to lose handily. Sorry, I'm just predicting double digits. Carrie Lake over Katie Hobbs. I'm just saying. Latinos, roughly 1/3 of Arizona's population, accounted for less than 1/5 of voters in 2020, but they have long favored Democrats with their support. The same is true in Nevada, where Catherine Cortez Masto, the first Hispanic woman elected to the Senate, is one of the chamber's most endangered Democrats. Well, if she is the one of the most endangered Democrats, that's it might be because Latinos have changed their minds about them. Plus, look. Okay, I'm not going to read it, but there's a whole article on why Latinos are important to the election. Latinos are largely Catholic, and some of the stuff that the Democrats espouse, making the whole election about abortion, I'm guessing may have turned some Latino Catholics off. And also the education issues, the drag queen story times, and wanting to trans your kids without your permission. A lot of Latinos are saying, what? Yo quiero Taco Bell. Come on, man. So I'm just saying, I don't know about that. Anyway, plus the fact that Trump made inroads with Latinos big time. His share of the Latino vote was 38% from 28% in 2016. That's with the crackdown on immigration. So it's going to be interesting. I want to see, and obviously they can only do this through exit polls, but I'm really interested to see how the Latino vote, if there is a true Latino shift in the vote. So that's a fascinating subject. Good morning, James. How you doing? Trippy. I love tacos. I love tacos too. I love me some tacos. All right. Now in Politico, which is tends to slant to the left. But anyway, they want to talk about Oz and Fetterman. The battle for Bucks County. Oz and Fetterman converge on the must-win Philly suburb. Really? Is it a must-win suburb? After more than they've spent $260 million on ad spending. Holy shit. And visits from two former presidents this weekend. The Pennsylvania Senate matchup between John Fetterman. Yeah, you know what? I just thought of something this morning. You know what Fetterman is? I mean, I don't, this is mean, I guess, but if Lurch and Uncle Fester had a love child, that is what John Fetterman is. Anyway, more than $260 million in spending on ads and visits for two former presidents. The Pennsylvania Senate matchup between John Fetterman and Mehmet Oz could come down to Bucks County. Where the two candidates are held dueling events miles from one another on Sunday. The convergence in Philadelphia spotlighted the key midterm battleground. As Democrats look to keep their narrow congressional majorities, Pennsylvania likely remains the party's best pickup Senate opportunity, but the race has narrowed substantially in the final weeks, with the RCP average having Oz edge it out. But it's all going to depend on turnout. And, Philly will turn out people. Anyway, on the unusually warm Sunday for early November, Oz campaigned with Representative Brian Fitzpatrick In Upper Makefield Township, while Fetterman and Democratic gubernatorial nominee Josh Shapiro rallied supporters hours later in nearby Newtown. Bucks County, which stretches along the Delaware River north of Philadelphia, has a population of roughly 650,000 people, represents the swingiest of Philadelphia's suburbs. The swingiest? Did you say swingiest? The swingiest of Philadelphia suburbs. Wow. Oh, yeah. It's the swingingest suburb of Philadelphia. Anyway, former President Donald Trump came within 2,700 votes of winning the county in 2016 en route to a statewide victory. 4 years later, President Joe Biden carried by more than 17,000 votes. And I'm going to guess that a good majority of those 17,000 people regret it now. The county has thousands, because remember, white suburban women are swung from whatever to plus 25 for the Republicans. It was like plus 5 for Democrats to plus whatever. So this is a suburb, the white suburban women. Anyway, hello, Sarah. The county has thousands of potential ticket splitters, a group Oz urgently needs on Election Day. Republican gubernatorial nominee Doug Mastriano, who has struggled to fundraise and largely been abandoned by national Republicans over far-right ties, is poised to lose to Shapiro. The celebrity doctor turned GOP candidate was joined on Sunday by two politicians skilled at winning over ticket splitters, Fitzpatrick, who represents Buck County and part of neighboring Montgomery County, and won re-election 2 years ago, despite Biden also winning his district by 6 points, and Senator Susan Collins. Oh boy. Well, she might be popular in Pennsylvania because their Republicans tend to be more on the moderate side, who handily won re-election in 2020, but she didn't win re-election in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, whatever. The suburban events on an otherwise quiet Sunday in Philadelphia. The undefeated Eagles played on Thursday this week, and the Phillies World Series run ended Saturday night. Came after a busy day on the campaign trail Saturday. Fetterman swung through Pittsburgh and Philadelphia with former President Barack Obama. I was a little slow on that. With Biden also joining them for the latter stop. Yeah, they're probably happy to see Obama and not so happy to see Raheem. That'd be Joseph Raheem Biden. Campaigning alongside Collins and Fitzpatrick at a roundtable with business owners in Bucks County. Oz's focus was not on the former president, however. I want to bring balance to Washington, he said. John Fetterman takes the extreme position over and over. Yes, he does, when he can get it out of his mouth. That's so mean. Why am I being so mean to Fetterman? I don't know, because everyone's pushing Fetterman so hard. I don't care. I just don't care. Anyway, so that's another highlight. Oh, and Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey recently endorsed Fetterman. A Senate Majority PAC cut a last-minute ad this week highlighting Oprah Winfrey's backing of Fetterman, an endorsement his cabinet courted after Oz rose to fame being part of her show. Well, that just tells me she's not loyal. You ain't loyal. You're not loyal. All right, next, New Hampshire. Now, this is a state that should not be a battleground. Maggie Hassan in New Hampshire should just be killing this, and yet New Hampshire battleground poll shows key Senate showdown is down to the margin of error in a time when Republicans are surging. Again, remember, those people who are undecided in these races probably balanced to Republicans, right? Now, is it enough to get to the margin of error in New Hampshire? I don't know. But anyway, the Senate race in New Hampshire is among a handful across the country that will likely determine if the GOP wins back the chamber's majority. With 2 days to go until Election Day, a new public opinion survey, Battleground New Hampshire, indicates the margin of error race between former governor and first-term Democratic Senator Maggie Hassan and her Republican challenger, former Army General Don Bolduc. The poll from the University of New Hampshire Survey Center is the latest to indicate Hassan's one-time upper single-digit lead over Bolduc has disappeared in a race that is among a handful across the country that will likely determine if the GOP wins back the Senate majority in Tuesday's midterm elections. Hassan stands at 50% among likely voters questioned in the poll, which was released on Sunday evening, with Bolduc at 48% and Libertarian Party candidate Jeffrey Coffin at 1% and 1% backing someone else are undecided. Hassan's 2-point edge over Bolduc is within the survey's sampling error of plus or minus 2.1 percentage points. Hassan held an 8-point lead over Bolduc in UNH's previous poll, which was conducted September. So she went from an 8-point lead to just barely a 2-point lead. That's momentum. Come on, Bolduc, go get him. Right? That's some momentum right there. So that's interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna. What? Damn. What the hell? What the hell is that? I predict that she'll hang on by the hair of her chinny chin. I don't think she's going to be one of the surprises, but we'll see. I mean, surging. I would love to see all 11 of these races go red, but that's just me. Another key Senate race moves toward GOP in election forecast update. Again, this is the same one. Yeah, this is the Politico version of this race. Republicans' path to the Senate majority continues to broaden ahead of Tuesday's election, now including a state that Joe Biden carried by 7 points just 2 years ago. The Senate race in New Hampshire is moving from lean Democratic to toss-up in Politico's election forecast, a reflection of the tightening in that campaign in recent weeks. While Democrat Senator Maggie Hassan still has a narrow lead over Republican Don Bolduc, she is no longer a significant favorite. The overall battle for the Senate majority continues to be a toss-up, but the range of plausible outcomes now includes a sizable Republican majority. A sweep of just 6 toss-up races would give the GOP 54 seats. I don't think they're going to sweep them. I think they're going to get 4 of the 6 toss-ups. If the two parties split the toss-up races evenly, Republicans will still win a 1-seat majority in the chamber. Democrats are banking on the power of incumbency and lingering unpopularity of some Republican nominees to overcome an increasingly rough political environment. Look, if you really think that Democrats are popular as opposed to the Republicans being unpopular, in the immortal words of Rob Halford of Judas Priest, you got another thing coming. You got another thing coming. I'm just saying. Washington State is also on the board. This is another one where you go, how did this happen? In addition to New Hampshire moving to toss-up, 2 other races are moving Republicans direction. Senator Marco Rubio has all but cemented his lead in Florida. No surprise. That's over Val Demings. And his race shifts from lean Republican to likely Republican, despite a well-funded challenge he's faced from Democratic Val Demings. They've been throwing money in Florida like crazy. Reaction Puerto Rico's in the house. How you doing, brother? And the Senate race in Washington State, of all places, has become more competitive. Democratic Senator Patty Murray, perhaps. No, she's not the dumbest person in the Senate. I can't say that. Well, she's annoying. That's all. Is still a favorite, but Republican Tiffany Smiley, who is outspending Murray in the race's final month, has gained ground. The race moves from likely Democratic to lean Democratic. Though the polls have tightened in Washington, Smiley is still hampered by the state's partisan lean. In the August primary, Murray had 52%, and Democratic candidates combined for more than 55% of the vote. The political environment is trending better for Republicans now, but that's a steep hill to climb. Patty Murray will win this race. In moving to toss-up, New Hampshire joins 5 other states: Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. Republicans will win Arizona, Georgia, Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not a toss-up. I'm sorry, it's just not. Nevada, Pennsylvania, I don't know. Fetterman Oz, depends on how many votes show up at the Philadelphia Civic Center the day after the vote. I don't know. And Nevada, I have no idea. Yet not all of them are pure coin flips. Hassan's slight edge in her race is similar to Senator GOP Ron Johnson's modest advantage in Wisconsin. Numerous public surveys this week showed Johnson still leading Democrat Medela Barnes, though by threadbare margins. Actually, he's up about 3. And Arizona, which moved to toss up last week, like Arizona, the tightening New Hampshire race has come despite some national Republican groups pulling out of the state, which is just dumb. That's just dumb. I'm sorry. Let's see. And then, the New York governor race, though. That is another one that is getting weird. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is still the favorite to win a full term in her race, but Republican Representative Lee Zeldin is mounting a furious charge in the race's closing week. New York, which has sat at likely Democratic since the election forecast launch, moves one notch over to lean Democrat. Zeldin's focus on crime has proved potent, and Hochul is just making missteps left and right. I'm running out of time. I got to get some of these videos. Anyway, so that's another one that's really tightening up. And then let's see. Republicans are now favoring 215 House districts, just 3 shy of the majority mark. 2 contests previously rated toss-up are now lean Republican, a newly drawn open seat in Colorado, and Democratic Representative Sidney Axe's race in Iowa. Much of the polling in Axe's district shows a tied race, including a publicly released internal poll from Republican Zach Nunn's campaign. But undecided voters are expected to break against the incumbent. So that's interesting. So, look, the House is going to flip. Senate, my guess is 4 of those 6 toss-ups go Republican, which would give it a 53-47. Is that right? I think something like that. No, 52-48. 52-48. I think. Something like that. If all 6, it'd be 54. Yeah, it's 52-48. That's my prediction. All right, so the Oprah Winfrey backs Fetterman. We went through that already. And then will midterm voters put Republicans in power across the U.S.? I want to go to some of these videos real quick because I have. So anyway, just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, you are the sponsors of this show. 32 people in the room, 13 likes. Hit the like button on YouTube. Hit the plus sign or the fist in Rumble, depending on what form you're watching on. Good morning, Chicago Mike, by the way. And share the stream, even if it's after the stream. That is so huge to share the stream somewhere. Doesn't matter where. Obviously, it's too late for before, and you could do it now during. But when the stream's over, share the stream. We're trying to grow the channel. I really am, and I'm making some changes to how I do not thumbnails and titles and things like that. I'm doing some research on how to grow the channel. But I really, before the 1,000th episode, I'd like to at least double my subscriber base, and ideally it was 10,000, 1,000. We'll see. If we get some of these guests that are supposed to come, maybe that'll help. But I don't think we're gonna do it. But you never know. I'm working on it. But you can help me by sharing the stream before, during, or after the show. Good morning to Ideos, by the way. All right, now I'm gonna go through some video real quick, just some last minute punditry, and then if I have time, there's a couple others that I want to look. So first, we've got Greta Van Susteren. Let's go to here. Let's see if I can go full screen on this. Yes, I can. Oh, that's why I can't do that. Let's fix this so I can see all these other tabs. There we go. All right, let's go with better for the record with Greta Van Susteren. I don't even know what show is she on. Is that on CNN? I don't even know what network this is on. Anyway, here we go.
Real Clear Politics making its final prediction.
This is I think this is RCP's own broadcast. So this is
Open.
Samuel, how you doing? I'm trying out the Archangel thing since I'm a white hat. Okay. Welcome to the show, by the way. Are you new here too? Well, you must be, because I've never seen your name before. Anyway, welcome. I'm glad you're here. All right.
RCP has Republicans winning 227 seats in the House. The magic number to have the majority is 218. So the projection has the Republicans gaining the majority with 9 extra seats. And
Greta Van Sustren's on Newsmax? I had no idea. I don't know where she was from. So anyway.
in the Senate, Real Clear Politics projects Republicans will pick up 3 seats. If that happens, Republicans will also take over the Senate. But note, a pickup by Republicans of 3 Senate seats is 1 seat less than what Real Clear Politics projected a few days ago when they projected Republicans would pick up 4 seats.
Okay, and right now they just want to pick up the Senate, and that's good because then you can't find your happy place. No, I just changed names a lot. Oh, okay, well that's cool. So
what happened? RCP has moved the New Hampshire Senate seat back to the Democrats, but note that seat does remain a toss-up. The president, co-founder of Real Clear Politics, Tom Bevan, joins me. Okay, Tom,
come on, tell us, Tom.
In the last few days that it went from 4 for the Republicans to 3?
Well, look, in our opinion,
what the hell? Oh, they're going to put an ad right in the middle of this.
One of the biggest things
motherfuckers.
old houses don't have is closet storage. Working with California Closets was the only.
The Arizona race and the Nevada and the New Hampshire race, they're really, really close. Now, New Hampshire's a state that Joe Biden won by 7.5 points, and you have at the top of that ticket Chris Sununu, who's a Republican,
popular
leading by a lot,
governor.
But he's also someone who called
so how does
Bolduc, the Republican Senate candidate there, said he wasn't going to vote for him immediately after the primary. So you've got some crossover.
So that's interesting. I forgot about that. Yeah, Sununu's a popular Republican governor there, but he said he wouldn't vote for Bolduc after he won the primary because he was a little salty that his guy didn't get there. Right? That's interesting.
Voting for Maggie Hassan.
Did I just throw an F-bomb? I tend to do that. Thank you for letting me know, James. Appreciate it.
That's our thinking in that race. Although again, she's leading by like less than a point in our average. There are a couple polls showing Don Bolduc up by 1 percentage point. So that is literally a coin flip.
But these people in New Hampshire who will vote for Chris Sununu for governor, do they want a Democrat in the Senate? I mean, I don't. This is one of those states where they tend to split tickets sometimes.
Coin flip race.
All right, we're less than 25 hours away from the first polls closing. In New Hampshire, the one you just mentioned being one of the first ones, and also Virginia closed at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tell me, is there anything that could happen
nobody's
tonight,
not
in the next 25
house.
hours that's going to change anything in any of these races, do you think?
Hard to see that happening. I mean, in
another Joe Biden gaffe. Look, none of the polls that they're talking about took anything into account from yesterday. For example, Joe Biden saying, we're not going to drill for gas anymore. We're not going to drill for oil, even though he doesn't mean that. Or we're not going to use coal. But that affects Pennsylvania. So, for example, when they said that we're going to stop using coal, that was just yesterday. And you know that that sentence means a lot to people in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, the coal country, right? So that's going to be interesting. That's not going to be factored into the polls because that was yesterday.
People have already voted. A lot of early voting has already happened.
Oh, that's true, though. There's a lot of early voting, too. Well, whatever.
At this point, Damian. You've got very, very few undecideds. And so even Donald Trump announcing if that's what he ends up doing.
He's not going to announce. By the way, that announcement that they thought was going to happen tomorrow, he said he's going to make a big announcement a week from today. Because he didn't want to overshadow, do anything to overshadow today's votes. So
I think would really shift the dynamic of this race. This race is about the fundamentals of a president with a 42% job approval rating and 8% inflation.
It's all about the economy.
Pollsters that the economy is their number one issue.
Ding.
In looking back from the summer to now, the trends of the polls and where the different polls are
goodness,
indicating
still as
tonight.
boring as ever. Hey,
What
HP.
surprises you, or what's the trend? What stands out to you? Because you study these so
What stands
carefully.
out
What
to
have you
me?
learned?
Joe Biden sucks.
Well, I think there was this.
That's
this
what stands out.
Late summer surge by Democrats that, I think when the Dobbs decision was handed down, you had the referendum in Kansas.
Oh, bookcases.
You had some special
I hear
elections.
ya.
The Dems got energized by the Dobbs decision, and there was this narrative that the Dems presented, and a lot of the media, accepted, which was.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see what narrative he's talking about.
This was a game changer. This was going to flip the script and make this election, completely different than any other midterm election like we've seen.
The most important. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. The most important election in our lifetime, and perhaps all times ever.
In past history. And I think that was fundamentally a mirage. Did it energize Democrats? Yes. Did it?
What up, Zad? Nice
supplant
to see
the
you.
economy
Welcome to the
as the number
show.
one issue? No. And that was
Are
clear
you
in the
new?
data from way back in April
Or is that
and
someone
May,
changed your
even
name
before
again?
the Dobbs decision
Okay.
leaked in, I think it was like May 2nd. So this has always been about the economy.
Yes,
And-
it's about
and,
the economy.
That's what it's coming down to right now.
It's interesting. You mentioned the word mirage, and it occurs to me as I've listened to all the pundits and all the politicians for the last couple
here
of
they
weeks.
go with
when
that
the
mirage
Republicans are
talk, 'cause
popping
they're
the
preparing you
champagne
for
because they say they're going to take the House, probably
shenanigans.
take the House. I don't know what's going to happen in the Senate. But then you look at these races, and so many of them in the Senate, as you noted, are so razor close that it seems to me is that nobody can afford to be celebrating tonight, because it really could go any way, because even the polls are all within that margin of error. So
Get off
people
my
could be
screen with that crap.
overemphasizing
God,
Republican
they love
wins.
their ads. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, look, we have, I think, 17 or 18 polls in our generic congressional ballot average, and the two that came out today showed one tick in favor of Republicans, and the other one was steady from the poll that was taken last week. So Republicans are plus 2.5 in the generic congressional ballot. Historically, that means good things for them, particularly in the House.
Unless there's
On the Senate
really
side,
weird turnout
yes,
from
you have all of these races
unusual
are very,
groups,
very close. And the
like
way
the
this usually
TikTok
goes, Greta, is that somebody's
generation.
going to have a good night, right? The undecideds are going to break in one direction.
Make sure you go vote, by the way,
It's not
everybody.
like
And I
the
don't care
undecideds
who
are
you
gonna
vote
break,
for. Hello, Lou
one way
Hammer.
in one state and one way in another state, and these things are going to
I
split
think who
evenly.
says Lou Hammer says, I think it's funny Americans think they are actually voting. Well, we do, but
Whoever
you know,
has the better night will win
just-
the majority of those races.
By the way, I'm glad
We're
you're
looking at
here.
the four
Hope you,
Senate seats that
subscribe.
are all razor thin. If Republicans have a good night, they'll win 3 of those 4, maybe even 4 of those 4. But if Democrats turn out and have a good night, or Republicans don't show up at the polls, then it's perfectly possible the Democrats all those incumbents could hold on.
Tom
Yeah,
Bevan,
we'll
thank
see.
you. Very exciting time in this country as we watch this. Thank you.
All right, so there's one. Let's move on to the next one here. This is over. This is so. Speaking of Biden shutting down coal plants, well, Latrine Jean-Pierre has some words about how perhaps Biden's words were taken out of context, because whenever Biden makes some kind of statement where eyebrows raise, the White House staff is always there to clean up after him. And so here's Latrine Jean-Pierre.
Thank you. You said that the president is fighting for coal communities, but just to follow up, that doesn't mean that he's fighting
Not
to keep these coal mines
Pennsylvania
open,
saying, look at
does
it, look at it.
Look, the
the
president, I laid out very clearly about how the president sees
Turn that shit off.
sees his part in this and what he has done. He has.
What has he done for
through the
coal? What
work
has he done?
of-
Whoa! Okay, what is she about to say? What he has done for coal communities after he just said that they're going to be closing all the coal power plants because your Tesla and your electric truck from Ford, the Ford Lightning, actually run on coal. Just FYI, right now, or because although I wouldn't care if they changed it to hydrogen or not. Excuse me, not hydrogen. Liquid natural gas apparently has a little bit less effect on the environment than coal does. But anyway.
Working group on coal and power plant communities. President Biden has already delivered more than $23 billion to energy communities across the country.
Energy communities, $23 million. Now that's an interesting statement that she has prepared there. Has delivered $23 billion to energy communities. What the actual fuck does that mean? What does that mean? And how? Were they doing a bridge project in those energy communities? I mean, what is she talking about? Or are the already in place subsidies just haven't been canceled yet? What is he? That's just bullshit.
He has put forward plans that are bringing new energy and manufacturing jobs to states like West Virginia, states like Pennsylvania.
Are they?
And he has secured critical investment through the Inflation Reduction Act to support coal communities as well, which he believes is incredibly important, which is why it was included in an Inflation Reduction Act. And that's from funding for coal miners suffering from respiratory challenges to billions of dollars in loans to help.
Okay, here we go with the ads again. This just
another
drives
busy
me crazy.
day? Of course it is.
Shut up with your ad until I can skip it. Oh, there's not even a skip one on this one. Good Lord. I don't want to hear your ads. Get off my screen, Comcast Business.
Sees new energy opportunities. So again, I mentioned this, I just laid this out. While we're trying to help coal communities, while we're trying to do everything that we can to make sure that they have the funding that they need, Republicans, that very same
Republicans voted against the Inflation Reduction Act, which was really just a watered down Green New Deal
policy, same monies that I just laid out. Inflation Reduction Act, which is where it's coming from. Republicans want to repeal that, taking away the efforts that we're trying to provide
because
for coal
fake.
communities.
So that sounds like you're helping them as the market through economic transition is moving away from coal. That doesn't sound like you're taking any deregulatory efforts or any steps to help the mines themselves stay open. Is that correct?
Look, I've been very clear. The president.
No, you haven't. That's why he's asking you again.
I don't have anything more to add. Again, we believe what he was trying to say was twisted.
Here's the thing: is this is not on YouTube though. I do pay for premium, but this is Real Clear Politics, so they have ads that pop in on their own.
And we've laid that down very clearly. You heard from my statement. You heard from what I just said
a
here
whole
today.
lot of nothing.
He said we're shutting those plants down.
Go ahead, Phil.
Oh, she didn't want to hear that because that is what he said. He said we're shutting those plants down. So, in other words, bullshit. If you try.
Hey there, homeowner. I just saved over.
Shut up. If you install uBlock Origin on your browser, it stops ads. Yeah, no, I know. I can. Well, we'll someday I'll improve my show to do that. I've never really. I usually use YouTube for these videos, but these were all on Real Clear Politics, so I just used this today. All right, now this is from maybe I love her, but she's might be the most annoying announcer, Maria Barada. Snuffleupagus, blah, 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 whatever. Bartiromo. Is that her name? Maria Bartiromo. And this was, I forgot which one this was. This was the one where pollster Callahay says submerge vote. Oh, this is the one I was talking about. How there's certain types of voters who don't necessarily like to listen to pollsters. So check this one out.
The crucial midterm elections, and the GOP could claim an overwhelming victory. The Real Clear Politics average of polls shows Republicans expected to comfortably retake the House of Representatives with 228 seats, and in the Senate, Republicans are also expected to end up with the majority with 54 seats, adding states such as Arizona, Georgia, New Hampshire, and Nevada. Joining me right now is the founder of the Trafalgar Group. He is the chief pollster there.
Here it is.
Robert Cahaly. Robert, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for being here. You and I spoke yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures where you predicted a red tsunami coming. You said, it's going to be a red wave, but it could be really big. Tell us more.
Okay, let's see. This is why.
Yeah, it really, part of what's been going on, and this has been a problem ever since Biden made that kind of threatening speech when he said that MAGA voters were a threat to the country, was there's been so many Republicans that I believe have become what we call submerged voters. They're not putting...
Oh, good. All right. I see how it is. You're right. I should probably get that uBlock on here. What a pain in the ass. Okay. Submerge voters.
and they're not talking to pollsters. And they're afraid of what that means. They don't want to be put on the list. They don't want to be targeted. They don't want to be audited.
Right.
And they're afraid all that stuff could happen if they participate. So, and they're telling us this, saying, hey, nothing against you, but that's why we're not doing it, and reached out to us directly, many of them since the speech. And so we don't know how big this is going to be
because
we can't
he made
measure
it
them.
bad
But it
to
could
be one of
half
those
a point
people.
all the way up to like 5.
And so, and the media
Wow.
and the pollsters, they don't know who these pollsters are. They don't know who's calling them. They don't know who's targeting them. And they don't want to be hassled. And that's what Biden was encouraging people to do by making that speech. Whether you, they know what they're doing. The idea that, he's saying we're all violent and rotten people. Well, what do you do with violent and rotten people? You deal with them. Know what I mean?
And you're talking about the House and the Senate, right? Give us your sense of what the hottest races are right now. What are you tracking?
Sounded like he was trying to
what
hawk a
will be
loogie.
the biggest upsets?
Well, we've been talking about the New York governor's race since the very beginning. I think that one is going to be extremely tight, and it is nowhere near what the polls suggest. We're the only ones who think this is a contest, but apparently the people behind Hochul think it's a contest, and the people in the White House think it's a contest. So I think that's one to watch. Also, Bolduc. That was a race that was kind of written off, that has gotten very, very competitive at the last moment. So that one's a toss-up, but a very good chance Bolduc will win that. Obviously, we're watching Georgia and the Senate race. That one, ever since the debate, has been very much most of the credible polling is showing Walker with a lead. It really is, I think it's not a matter of whether Herschel's going to win; it's whether he's going to win without a runoff. Having Coach Dooley do that heartfelt commercial 10 days before he passed, and everything that's going on with that in Georgia has just been a massive thing, and it meant a lot to people. So Herschel's been.
Yeah, that's the thing in Georgia. Neither of them are going to get 50% of the first vote. That's definitely going to go to a runoff, which probably favors Walker. Although, it also kind of depends on if Stacey Abrams ends up in a runoff too, because her turnout machine, regardless of the fact that she will lose, her voter turnout machine is incredible down there in Georgia. So it's interesting to see how that's going to happen. Yes, and by the way, just that we know, Anna Lynn reminds us too, and he said that earlier in the show, that breaking news, vote tabulators are not working in Texas and Arizona. In Texas too? Oh, good God. They've had a year or 2 years in some cases to make sure that the damn tabulating machines work. What a coincidence. Hello, Jethro Hetero, by the way. Anyway, let's keep going here.
On an upward climb ever since his debate. And Pennsylvania, everybody's watching Pennsylvania. Our final poll showed Oz up by 2, and it only showed Mastriano down by 5. So I think that one's going to be more competitive, especially if that wave exists. Obviously, Arizona, Lake has maintained a lead for weeks now, and I think she's going to help Masters with the Libertarian dropping out of that race and endorsing Masters. That's kind of eroded most of the difference. If that thing is a toss-up with any kind of Republican wave, Masters wins. And obviously, we're watching Nevada. Nevada's sustained leads the entire time. Every credible poll out there has shown Nevada being a nice sized lead for Lombardo and for Laxalt. I expect that will continue. And we have a new poll that we're releasing today in North Carolina on your show, and we're showing a 6-point gap. This one has been as stable as you can imagine. Everybody was saying it was 3, and then it was 4. It's kind of maintained that, but we think in the end that's going to be about a 6-point gap. And we put out one yesterday showing Ohio with the highest margin anybody's showing it. But I've been saying from the beginning, I didn't think Ohio was a real contest. Got Ohio with a 10-point lead for J.D. Vance. We expect he'll do that big. And Wisconsin and Johnson lead of a couple points.
Okay, so kind of he's basically going over the same result, the same polls that I was going over earlier. So we're going to skip him again. Thank you, Chicago Mike. And Chicago Mike, you are
You are
the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you for sponsoring the show. With a big bullet in the tip jar that says Biden lost of democracy when some Democrats who were voted out of office. Wait, what? Loss of democracy when... Yeah, okay, so I get what you're saying here. Because they keep saying that our democracy is at stake, our democracy in danger. We're losing our democracy if you don't vote for Democrats. And there was, who was it? The dude from, who's the congressman from South Carolina who was saying this the other day, talking about how, well, this is just like there was a great democracy in Germany in 1939, and then they voted in this dictator, which actually he didn't get voted in, he got appointed. But anyway... comparing it to Hitler, comparing it to Nazi Germany if Democrats lose. I'm like, holy shit, you really think very highly of yourself. I think the democracy, or our representative republic, will survive if Democrats lose. In fact, we might be better off. All right, last one. Is this the same one? Oh, this is Callahay again, or Callahay, Robert Callahay. Which they give their final thoughts, as opposed to thoughts, on the race.
Tomorrow, fellas. Good luck tomorrow. Ohio Republican Party Chairman, a friend of mine, Bob Punditry.
All right, that is President Trump. He is stumping his last campaign rally.
Interesting. As far as Callahay goes, this is the Trafalgar poll. They're probably middle as far as accuracy among all the pollsters. So, it's interesting that in their poll, we have a lot of these Republicans in a little bit higher position than the others, or than the RCP average, Real Clear Politics average. But anyway,
in this midterm election cycle, obviously it's election night in America tomorrow.
I think he's going to say a lot
tomorrow.
of the same thing in this.
Joining us now are our friends, our pollsters, Matt Towery, Insider Advantage, and Robert Cahaly, Trafalgar. They have been polling every race.
Let's see
this is your final opportunity.
Let's see if Cahaly still sounds like what do they call them? ASMR videos, because his lip smacking is almost as bad as mine. Anyway.
We're going to go through, especially the Senate races, a lot of these gubernatorial races. Let's start in the great state of Georgia. Both of you have Herschel Walker in the lead. Robert Cahaly, what's going to happen tomorrow?
Turnout.
I think Herschel's going to come in first, and I think he's going to get barely and avoid a runoff.
Oh, he's not going to avoid it. He's not going to avoid a runoff. There will be a runoff in Georgia. I'm just saying it right now. There will be a runoff in Georgia, because Georgia, you have to get over 50% of the vote. There will be a runoff in Georgia. I'm just saying.
You think it's a runoff on December 6th?
He is saying it's a runoff. I thought he said
he would go what's that? Oh, you think without a runoff?
I think he avoids the runoff.
You think he's going to get 50%?
That would be a huge win for. Yes. That would be a big night for Republicans.
Now that would be a shocker if that
Matt
happens.
Towery, do you agree?
Well, I have to tell you, I am increasingly convinced that Robert is going to be the best pollster on this. I think Herschel Walker will make it across the 50% plus one requirement in Georgia, partially because African American men are going to vote for Walker at an even higher level than they've told us in the polls.
And what about, you can't deny Brian Kemp has run a great campaign for governor.
Oh, yeah, he's lifting all boats.
These guys are boring me. I'm not going to watch it. Because they basically say all the same things that Cahaly said in the other one. So here's, they talked about Georgia Senate, Georgia Governor, North Carolina, where the Republicans leading, New Hampshire, Maggie Hassan, they predicted upset. Pennsylvania, I don't know if they said Oz was going to run. I can't remember when I watched this before. Pennsylvania governor, the Democrat will win. Ohio senator, that is definitely going to be J.D. Vance. Wisconsin, Ron Johnson. Arizona, I think they think that Kelly and who's the other? Masters, whatever. I always want to say McMasters, but I think it's just Masters. I think they think he's going to, that MASH is going to win too. They had four of the 6. Anyway, all right. Look, I'm out of time. I need to go vote, and I got to go do my normal noontime thing. But everything that's in here, including several that I didn't get to, articles are going to be in the description at the end of the show. I will, during the outro, I'll update that with a one link that'll take you to a single page that has all these, all the articles, all the videos, and whatever on one single page. You can check that out if you need to. If you need to review before you go vote, I highly, strongly, and superly recommend that you go vote today. But before you do any of that, I appreciate if you hit the like button or the plus sign or the thumbs up on Rumble, the like button on YouTube. Get that done. Share the stream after the show. I'd be grateful for you to do that. If you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you in fact, for a comment section, here's the question of the day. I'm going to start adding one of these every day. Here's the question of the day for the comment section. Which race do you believe would be the most surprising win for either Republicans or Democrats? And I'm just Senate races. I'm sorry. Let me clarify. Which Senate race do you think would be the most shocking win for Republicans or Democrats? You pick one race, which would be the most shocking win, who wins it, and why do you think it would be the most shocking race? I have one in mind, and I will reply to your comments in the comment section on that question. But I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. Tonight, I think I'm going to be on Hotep Jesus channel, possibly, or I might just do a stream of my own. I had talked to him about that before. Hello, Scribe. And tomorrow night, I will be on Aquarian Anarchy's channel. We'll be analyzing the actual results that are available, although some will not be available till probably January 2nd, because apparently Democrats think that it's going to take some time to count all the votes. Because, yeah, well, in Maricopa County and places in Texas, looks like they're having some troubles already. So keep an eye on that. We'll see you guys tomorrow and maybe tonight. I'll post where I will be tonight on the internets, including YouTube community tab. So you know those little like things you get, and on Twitter, I'll tell you where I'll be. Anyway, gotta go. Thanks everybody. My name is P Dog Knight, and I am out of here. Go vote. Bye bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.